Pardon me for intruding here.
Hey, no worries.
What are you doing?
Just kind of grounding myself at the moment. Just got off of work and decided to come out and enjoy some nature before the sun goes down, and remind myself that there are bigger things in me, in my worries, and that I can always reconnect to something real when I just take a moment and appreciate my surroundings.
What do you mean there are bigger things than you?
Yeah, I mean, like, sometimes, I don't know, I feel like when our reality, our situations can be overwhelming, I can't help but remember there's more to it. It's beyond my comprehension, even if I can't understand it. And that perhaps it's not even meant for me to solve or understand, but rather experience.
I'm going to come a little bit closer, just for the sake of audio here.
Of course, of course.
If I could ask, in your professional life, what do you do? What is it that you're getting away from up here?
I don't know. I mean, I guess for me, I usually call it the Matrix. And it's a world in which I didn't necessarily had an opinion on coming into the world. You know what I mean? Like, there was already rule set when I came onto this world. And sometimes that system or that way of being will never make sense to some of us. And for me, this is kind of like, I don't know if I like to say if it is getting away, because I think it's more so taking a breath to reconnect with, you know? I think that would be better.
For instance, what were you doing earlier today? Were you in an office behind
No,
a
not
computer?
at all. I was actually driving around the bay, delivering vegan meals to people, basically.
No way.
Yeah, I started working for this cool company in Oakland, Planted Table Meals. They do like a zero waste, meal prep kind of style, plant-based meals, very delicious, very nutritious, and they do different services, and you can do either a couple meals for the week or the whole week's worth. And I recently started cooking in the back because I told them I had some cooking experience, but I also started to deliver as well. So.
Well, I could totally relate to that. When I'm not doing a video blog, I actually drive for Uber.
Oh, nice.
Actually,
yeah.
I haven't done it that much lately, but one of the things that I found frustrating about it was how almost inevitably I would end up in some kind of a traffic jam someplace. You find that?
Yeah, I had that today. Oh man, it's real.
So coming up here gives you a chance to, I don't know, when I get caught in a traffic jam, I find that my thoughts start to kind of take a downward trajectory. You know, you start thinking about nasty stuff, and then if you can kind of bring yourself back up to thinking about what it might be when you get up at a place like this. Does that resonate with you at all?
Yeah, I definitely can resonate with that. Funny enough, I was aware of road rage at an early age, and so I was very fascinated with that concept, and so from early age on, I actually started to practice being more patient while I started driving. So I hardly actually experience road rage now. But it's never. I still do, but not very rarely. But I remember growing up, everyone, all my family, just always, so easy to get angry behind the wheel.
Where did you grow up?
Fairfield, not too far from here, towards Sacramento. Yeah, little town over there.
And what exactly are you doing to control the tendency towards road rage when you're behind the wheel?
Sometimes I remember when I find myself either cutting someone else off on accident, and then just feeling like, oh no, I'm that person, you know? And so when sometimes it happens to me, I don't know, I like to just tell myself, hey, who knows, maybe they didn't meant to do it, and you know, sometimes we do things unintentionally.
So when you're up here, earlier I saw you doing some stuff up on the bars, and you seem to be in a meditative pose. Is it all just kind of free form, or is there some kind of a discipline or even a spiritual underpinning to what you're doing up here?
Yeah, I'd say, well, I practice calisthenics,
okay,
which is body weight training, and pull-ups and all that is definitely included in that. I just recently started to do this about maybe 2 years ago now, in which 2 years ago I couldn't even do one pull-up, and I was surprised because I was like, yeah, at least I got 5. And I tried to go, I was so embarrassed. I'm like, oh my goodness. And I had a couple of people that I admired that were really good in, actually really popular in that kind of world, calisthenics. And one day, I don't know, something clicked, and I was like, okay, I have to make this real. And there's a Bruce Lee quote that says, or he talks about how consistency is key. Consistency, not intensity. And I thought that was interesting because for me, looking out into the world, I feel like most fitness or workout stuff is super intense and all this and that. And so I saw calisthenics, at least some of the purists of it, is very controlled, very slow, and it just looks very different from anything I've ever seen. And so I'm like, you know what? That looks like something worth, you know, bleeding and sweating over. And so it's a cool discipline that I've finally been able to get. But yeah, that was all basically free form after just learning a couple of the basics, and then just me freestyling.
So you're consciously trying to slow yourself down?
Yeah.
Not unlike when you get in traffic. Kind of.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Interesting. And so the continuity you talk about, is that in terms of, or consistency, is that in terms of doing it every day, or are you talking about the way you're doing it each day?
I think it's more important the way
you do it. Yeah.
I think we've become so conditioned to want quantity over quality now.
And speed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're so addicted to instant gratification, and I don't know. For me, it seems kind of scary.
And does this give you instant gratification up here?
I suppose it does, but it didn't at first. Because at first it was something very unknown to me, and so it was a lot of learning. Well, at least for me, just fitness in general is very different. Here, 1 second.
Jesus. Just cause we cute don't mean I want you. And if you lit, my light might find you. Don't let the pics and illusion.
Never give up on life.
I'd say,
Remember, there's a reason.
yeah, when I first started, it was very painful, and I had I told myself that if I was gonna get into fitness, I had to remember that I wasn't doing it for any looks,
For any
appearance, any physical features. It was purely for health. And when I really started to believe in that, I started getting results, which was interesting.
So you feel better now?
Yeah, I'd say I was not necessarily bad before, but this was something that almost, like on my bucket list growing up, yeah, eventually, you know, I see myself finally being here, but I never would do anything in reality to, you know, get there. And so for me, this is one of those things that I finally just like, you know what, I never had any workout workout regimen in my life, and finally this kind of came. So.
Right.
Yeah.
So, do you have some kind of a vision or a dream as to what, you know, if you could sort of paint your future, what would you be doing?
If I could be honest, I'd say I want to be part of the collective that decides to stop all the nonsense that this world is doing, and together come to an agreement that we need to be better with each other, with ourselves, kinder, more compassionate, and I don't know if you want to call it a revolution, but definitely a change.
So it's the anti-nonsense revolution.
You say that? Yeah.
Well, you never know.
Yeah.
Maybe you could be the leader of the no-nonsense revolution.
That'd be something.
You know what the title of this video blog is? You never know. All right, thanks so much for your time.
Awesome, thank you.
All right.